This video goes over Lesson 1, Apply Properties of Exponents in your packet. It's Unit 7, page 4. Okay, so we have some properties that you can find on page 3. I'm not going to do that on a video. If you would like to look at the notes packet that you can find on the website, you can take those notes. But basically we have some properties that we use, and when you are doing those properties, they just apply to the exponents. So on question A, we have two things with the same base that's being multiplied. So we're going to keep the base the same, and we're going to add our powers. Since we have a positive exponent, we are done. However, on B, we keep the base the same, and when we add our exponents, we end up with a negative exponent, which is not allowed. So we're going to drop that down. I always say that if you have a bad attitude, you get sent to the basement. So here's our fraction. That 2 squared is going to get sent to the basement. And when it goes to the basement, its attitude changes. It goes from negative to positive. So when you switch floors, your attitude changes or your exponent changes signs. Now we can't have an empty numerator, so we have to put a 1 up there. Okay, when you have parentheses raised to a power, this is called power of a power on C. The base stays the same, and you multiply your powers. Positive exponent, that means we're done. When you're dividing two things with the same base, we subtract. So negative 1 minus 3 is going to give us negative 4. And then once again, we have to drop that down to make it a positive exponent. So on question E, we have a couple of things going on. So first we see the parentheses, so let's take care of that first. We're going to multiply 2 times negative 2 and 4 times negative 4. And then since we're multiplying, we're going to add our powers. It's be 2 to the negative 20. And since it's negative, it gets dropped down, becomes 1 over 2 to the positive 20. So question F is really similar. We're going to start by multiplying on top, and then we're going to subtract. So negative 4 minus negative 2 is negative 2. It's negative, so we drop it down. On G, we have two things with the same base in the denominator, so we're going to simplify that. So the top stays the same, and on bottom we do 1 plus negative 1, which is 3 to the 0. Basically, that means we have no 3's in the denominator. It kind of voids that out. So 3 to the 4th is our answer. On H, we have 3 things with the same base, so we keep our base and we add our powers. Negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. Drop that down, it becomes 1 over 3 to the 6th power. So when you're doing these, keep your base the same. Just use the properties on your exponents. So let's take a look at example 2 on that same page. So here we see more than one base. So what I like to do is I like to start when I'm multiplying, like on A, I start with my coefficients, and I would do basically 4 times 1. There's a 1 out here, and so that's 4. And then I'm going to add my powers on X, so I do 2 plus 1 is 3, and Y squared since there's no other Y's. So same thing on B, I'm going to put my exponents where there isn't one. I'm going to give that a 1. I'm going to zoom in a little on this so I can write a little easier. So these both have exponents of 1. And I'm going to give this power to everything. And when you have a power on the outside of parentheses like that, you multiply. So 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. And 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. So since all of these have negative exponents, we drop them all down. So we'll have 2 to the 4th, y to the 4th, x to the 16. And we have to have something up top, so we'll put a 1. And we're done because all of our exponents are positive and all of our bases are combined. So let's do the same thing here. We have a coefficient of 1 up top. So 1 over 3, this part right here, just stays as 1 over 3. So in our answer, we're going to have 1/3 as part of it. X squared over x cubed, we subtract our power. So 2 minus 3 is negative 1. I like to move everything to the top and then worry about negatives later. Y, we have 4 minus negative 2, which is 6. So now that all my bases are combined, now I drop negative exponents. So that y gets to stay upstairs since it's positive, but that x gets sent downstairs, and there's already a 3 down there with it. All my bases are combined, all my exponents are positive, I'm done. Okay, so we have multiplication and we have exponents. And so the exponents comes first in PEMDAS. So this has a power of 1. I'm going to distribute this -2 to both parts. So this becomes, sorry about that, Bill. So this becomes 1 times -2 is -2. And -4 times -2 is 8. I still have this stuff I have to worry about. So now since I'm multiplying, I'm going to add powers. -2 plus -2 is -4. 4 plus 8 is 12. And I have to drop my negative exponents. So y gets to stay put, and x to the 4th gets sent to the denominator. All my bases are combined. All my exponents are positive. I'm done. So there's a couple of ways you could approach E. You can either distribute that 2 to everything first, or you can simplify inside the parentheses first. I prefer to simplify. So I notice that these both have a base of x, so I'm going to start by doing that simplification. So I do 4 minus 3 is 1, so I'm just going to have x, y cubed, put a 1 there if you want, over 2, and I'm going to go and put a 1 there as well. So now I've simplified everything inside the parentheses. I have to take that power to everything inside. Remember, you're multiplying your powers. Since everything has a positive exponent where it's at, I'm just going to leave it alone. No more bases to combine. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to start by simplifying inside once again. I notice these y squareds are the same, so they're going to cancel. 3 is going to stay put on top. -3 minus -4 is 1. That leaves nothing in the denominator. These both have powers of 1. I'm going to give that power to both. Remember, you're multiplying. Since both have negative exponents, I'm going to shoot those down to the basement. I'm left with 1 over 3 cubed x cubed. You could write 3 cubed as 27 if you want to. Okay, G. Let's start by simplifying our coefficients. 4 divided by 12 is 1/3. Remember, we're subtracting when they're on different floors, so 4 minus -2 is 6. That y is positive up top, so I'm just going to leave it alone. There's nothing to combine it with. -7 minus -3 is -4. So all of our bases are combined. Now let's just move our negatives. So x to the 6th and y get to stay up top. 3's in the bottom with z to the 4th. All of our exponents are positive. All of our bases are combined. That is it.